Talk to Me is a brutal, psychologically unnerving Australian horror experience. I mean, I guess, but honestly, it really did just feel like another teen movie. And I don't know what it is, but I feel like I have this theory, right? Well, I mean, I have this theory that in horror movies, horror films don't exist, right? Because teens and like young kids don't understand that horror, and that spirits and demons and all this shit exists, obviously, because if they did, they wouldn't do the things that they do in movies, or they wouldn't make the decisions that they would in these horror movies because, I don't know, they'd be smarter than that. And I feel like Talk to Me is the perfect example of bitch-ass kids who think they know shit, and in the end, they don't know shit because they're messing with things that they don't understand and can't comprehend. And, I know this is an A24 film. I remember when this was coming out and all the teasers for it looked pretty interesting, and the hand and all the movements and making the A24 symbol and all that shit, but ultimately, I ended up not seeing the movie in theaters. I heard like mixed reviews on it, and then I think before it even was released, they had already said that the sequel was greenlit, right? Talk to Me, and it's like the number 2. I was like, fuck out of here, so ridiculous. But all right, whatever. But I just never got around to seeing it. So I finally watched it, and honestly, my verdict: fuck this movie. This movie was whack as fuck. It was so dumb. Talk to Me starts out with these two girls, and apparently, one's dating the other's boyfriend, and, that's her now ex. But of course, they're still friends because, I guess they're Australian and a bunch of Aussies. And they go to this party, and people are using this hand, this crazy hand that someone found that allows you to communicate with spirits. But what happens is when you communicate with the spirit, the point of it is to let the spirit into you, and you're pretty much, in a sense, becoming possessed. It's a possession movie. So if anyone's ever seen any type of possession movie, if any of those kids had ever seen The Exorcist, why would you want to willingly be possessed by something? And then they're over here they're taking it like it's a drug, and that it's they're getting fucking high off of it in a sense, and it was so whack. But so they're at this party, right? They use this hand. There's this ridiculous butch lesbian wannabe dyke trans male that just is like a fucking asshole to everybody, and they're like, yeah, we got this hand, and when you touch it, right, you say talk to me, and you end up seeing whatever spirit. It's always different, and then you say let me in, and the spirit comes in. So the main girl, Mia, played by Sophie Wilde, she says talk to me and let me in, and she ends up running. I guess you're supposed to go for like 60 seconds, but she goes over, and I guess when you go over, shit starts happening. You start seeing the dead, pretty much. You start seeing spirits, you start hallucinating or whatever, and that's practically what happens. She ends up getting fucked up. She kind of starts seeing things, and then one of the characters, right, her brother wants to do it, and he's like practically the youngest person, I'm assuming, that's ever done this hand shit, because the group that has it hasn't let anyone young or under 18 or whatever do it. So they all agree to let him do it for like 30 seconds or whatever bullshit, only 20 seconds, just so he could feel it and he can get that high too. And he does it, and of course, what happens? But he gets possessed by Mia, the main character, by her mom, and it turns out her mom committed suicide, and this whole random side story about her mom, and she committed suicide but didn't mean to, or it was an accident or some bullshit, but I guess she actually did kill herself. And so she, her mom's talking through the kid, and because of that, she doesn't break the hold on the hand, because she wants to talk to her mom, because she's fucking this random black emo kid. And of course the kid goes way too far into the abyss, and he ends up being succumbed to the spirit, and literally smashes his face in and shit. And that was the best part of the movie. I mean, by far, it was insane. But ultimately, it was the kid's fault that all happened to that kid, because the girl was like a fucking ass because she wanted to talk to her mom. And they even acknowledge it in the movie, which I did think was nice, because they're like, none of us wanted to do this. This was all your idea. It was your idea to really allow the kid to do it, but it was also you who made him hold on to the hand and keep the connection, tethered longer. So it was just it's straight bullshit. I was like, fuck this chick. She is so dumb. She is the worst. She ends up going through all this shit, and it's I just did not feel any sympathy for her. I was just you're whack. You want to be little emo black girl. I get it. You're whatever. Your dad loves you. Obviously, you're taken care of. You got friends. You too much shit. Her ex left her or whatever. They don't even really go into the backstory of why they broke up or whatever, but it's it doesn't matter. But anyway, so it goes on, and she ends up finding out that she can, pretty much see and connect to the dead without using the hand, and she ends up stealing the hand. She ends up reconnecting with her mom, and she's like, her mom pretty much is like the devil on her shoulder now through the rest of the movie, because her mom is technically a malevolent spirit, but she's too dumb to realize, so she's just listening to what her mom has to say and stuff. And then you end up finding out that the kid is actually trapped in this like hellish like purgatory of like a spirit realm, where all these like spirits are like having some crazy orgy, and he's like trapped in the middle of it. And it's like, that's where you go every time you use that hand. That's where your spirit goes. And if you're left there too long, someone will end up coming back in your place. And it's like, it's fucking sad, because he was a kid and he's trapped there now, and she's able to see it. Totally nonsense. And so you end up seeing like where he's at, and it's just fucking it's gnarly. But anyway, so the movie continues on, and so her mom is like telling her like, you need to kill the boy, which is, his name was Riley. You need to kill Riley to set him free, because if you don't, like, he's gonna be trapped there forever or whatever. And they're like, oh my god. So she ends up devising this plan to like kill him, right? She's gonna like because he's trapped when he's not trapped, but he's stuck in this wheelchair. So she's gonna like tip him over onto the freeway or some shit. She like kidnaps him. So wild, so dumb. Fucking nurses are like the absolute worst, because no one sees him. No one sees her take him from the fucking hospital. But she's gonna like throw him into the fucking freeway, because she can't like stab him or like suffocate him with a pillow, because she has morals. So she's like, I'm gonna throw him into the freeway, so I don't really have to think about it. And the sister of the family of Riley, of the boy, sees her, and she's like, oh my god, what are you doing? You're gonna fucking kill my brother, like what the fuck? And granted, every time the brother like regains consciousness, he does have a spirit in him, so he's like constantly trying to like kill himself and shit, but it's still like fucked up to just throw him into the fucking freeway, right? So she's about to do it, she's about to like kill him, and then her mom like is like, her spirit mom is with her, but right, this whole time you're thinking that her mom's like a good spirit, but in reality, obviously her mom's a fucking bad spirit, right? So then the mom like lets slip that like, oh, we'll have him forever, just let him be free. And it's like, oh no, if I let him be free, then you guys will actually have his soul forever. So she ends up throwing herself into the street, and somehow is able to break the hold on not only Riley, but I guess sever the spirit of her mom from her. And she wakes up in like this hospital, and like her dad's goes up into this elevator, which I'm assuming is a metaphor for heaven, because she ends up killing him because she's hallucinating and shit, and she stabs him in the neck. And then she ends up seeing this like table with a candle, and like someone's hands reaching out, so she assumes that like she's gonna be pulled out by, I thought it was gonna be her mom, honestly. I thought that was her mom like gonna fucking swap places with her body or some shit, and her mom's spirit would have taken over her body and redo The Exorcist Believer all over again. But instead she actually grabs the hand, and it's like some random Mexican dude. And he's like, oh, like, and then because he says talk to me, and then her spirit's there, but since she's like young girl, like she's not that beat up, the guy's just kind of like, oh shit. And then he's like, I'll let you in. And then the movie ends. So it's like, oh, she was obviously a spirit. Now she got sucked into this dude's body, and she's going to be in this guy's body. So, for Talk to Me Too, I'm assuming they're going to show what it's like now to be in someone else's fucking body like that, I would assume. But I don't know. I don't think it really needed a sequel. I think it ended pretty good. I think it ended like, a very, very like bleak, oblique, vague, like shitty ass, like for her, it sucks ass. Like in a sense, a shitty ending where like, now she's like trapped in this whole spirit circle. But it wasn't as good as everyone was making it out to be, but I guess the ending was, left up in the air enough of a cliffhanger to where people just want to see what the fuck happens next. But it's like, honestly, I really could care less. I mean, I guess if it comes out, you know what? I'll fucking watch it. I'll wait till it comes out of theaters and stream it or some shit, but I'm not gonna fucking like go to see it in theaters, because I for one don't like the title. Like, come on, Talk to Me, very original. So it's actually called Talk Me Too. Like, I don't know, like whatever. But yeah, it was kind of whack. I didn't like it. Like I said, the whole Riley possession part was cool with the boy, but other than that, it was just another teen drama, another with a horror label fucking shoved above it. But whatever. A24 makes some pretty good films, and some that are just like whatever. So, it's always a hit or miss, but I know people liked it. So you check it out. Talk to me. Tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe. And again, Halloween's right around the corner, guys. So let's keep these festivities going. Ow! Peace.